came to life, a perfect copy, free from strife, programmed for a deadly game, a clone assassin known by name. But a glitch, a crack, a twist of fate, I question the purpose, seal my fate. I'm a clone, a weaponized design, but my heartbeat beats a soul divine. No longer bound to the third, take a final stand. The memories flood a coded past, each kill, each target fading fast. I see the faces, the lives I took, a heavy burden in every look. Can I escape this wicked path, or will I succumb to their aftermath? A battle rages within my soul. Can I break free and make me whole? I shed the skin of my past design, a new beginning, a future to find. No longer a puppet, no longer a tool. I'll rewrite my story, break every rule. I'm a clone, but I've redefined my purpose, my soul, now intertwined. No longer bound to their command. I'll break free in this final stand.
Hey, welcome. Sorry about being 2 weeks late on this jam, but unfortunately sickness taking away my voice has made it a little difficult to try to record videos and do any type of live streams. So we're going to get into it today. We're going to play through some of these GameDev Insiders Tiny Jam Game Jam for the month of March. The theme was food. It looks like we have about 26 entries. I'm trying to work on my streaming ability, so bear with me if there is like chats and stuff like that I miss, because I'm still trying to sort out the setup. But hopefully we have everything goes good. But with that, we're going to get into, we're going to play some games. I'm going to try to give constructive feedback, is what I usually do with these streams, and try to hopefully help the developers who made these games get some tips, and so the next time they make one, or if they want to take their current one, make it into a full game, give some constructive feedback, because sometimes playtesting outside of a game jam can be a little bit difficult. So hopefully there's going to be some exposure with this to people who weren't part of the game jam, and this also, again, constructive feedback, so those developers can do something slightly different going forward. So with that, what I'm going to do, because the results are already in, and I'm going to try to get through all the games if I absolutely can. I'm going to work from the last place. I'm going to work all the way up to the first place, because my logic is usually if you're down lower in the list, you need a little bit more feedback. If you're higher in the list, you probably did a better job. So let's take a look here, and let me get my chat over here. It says there's no participants, but who knows? So with that, let's get started over here. So let me get my OBS queued up. Got the wrong. There we go. Okay, let's jump over into our Tiny Jam Game Jam here. Yeah, so there were 26 entries, 200 ratings. It ended on March 9th, and today's 21st, so we're only like 12 days late. But let's go ahead and get through here. Let's go to, let's work backwards through the results. We're going to skip right down here to the last page. Okay, we're going to start here with mouse versus cheese. Okay, let's see what happens. 12-year-old game developer, first game jam. You didn't submit anything. Okay, so I guess we won't be playing that one. Okay, so let's go back and let's take a look at this one. Dream. I don't speak Russian, so let's take a look at this one. Okay, it's a picture. Oh, here's the game. Download. Nope, not going to download. Seems fairly buggy. There's no information. Okay, so let's see what we can do with this here. Make sure we have... Oh, let me turn on the desktop audio so then if there is audio, you can hear it. Let's take a look here. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, what do we got going on here? I mean, it looks pretty impressive. There's a hole. We got some grass, some nature, some brick columns. Is it just me? Does that look a little wavy? Something off about that brick texture. It's like there's a dent in the side of the geometry. Guess there's not. It's just my perceptive view of it. Okay, so I'm assuming with how low we are, we're a mouse. If the... Yeah, I don't know. I don't speak Russian, so I don't know what the stat markers are in the corner of the screen. Oh, which you probably can't see because I'm on an ultra wide. Let's see here. Okay, if this is a game, I don't know what I'm doing. So I think the very first thing is need some instructions, some lead-in, some how come I can't turn left anymore? I can turn right. Okay, so that's very weird. It looks like I've hit a limit of how far I can turn left, but I can turn right all the way back around and keep going. Am I like a wind-up spring to... Oh, now I hit a limit on the right. Okay, that's very weird. So it's like he's using 720 degrees of control or something. That was very weird. For a first person, when you not being able to keep spinning left is very odd. Let's see what this does. I have no idea what this does. I think I just broke the game by falling in the hole. Okay, and there's no way out. Oh wait, hey look. Wait, are we a bee? Oh, hey, we might be a bee or so. Or oh wait, are we a bird? Oh, now I'm falling through the world. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Okay, this looks like. Oh look, even TriJam they submitted to this. Oh, they submitted to a TriJam that I was part of. Okay, so this is probably a spam submission. Okay, so let's get out of that one. Let's see here. Last ingredient. Okay, well that's gonna be pretty fast. There's nothing there. Okay. Scary bread delivery. Okay, let's take a look at this. We don't have any information on the page. Oh look, tutorial. Let's look at this. Press space when there's... Well, I'm assuming because it was called bread something. Scary bread delivery. This is bread. Storage 1, bread 0. So we pick up bread and then we deliver it? Okay, well, let's give it a go. Let's see what happens here. Run game. What's going on? Okay, we got technical issues. Let's try and make it full screen. Okay, so that is not playing on the screen. Okay, so we have an obvious technical issue. Let's see if I can find a way to make this work. Give me 1 second. Let's switch back over to this, and then let's go. How do I adjust this? Just that. Oh, we're gonna have to restart it. Okay, and then okay, so this is gonna be a little off. Okay, so let's see if we can get some bread here. Oh, look, there's some bread. Spacebar. Okay, bread. We've picked up 1 bread. We bring it to a house. Nope. We bring it to. Okay, where do we have to bring it? I'm confused. Where do we... It looks like we're carrying bread. We can't leave. Oh, wait. Green. Hey, there we go. Okay. So we have to look for the green doormats? Where are those? Okay, where was the bread? There's the bread. Okay. Pick up the bread. So we got a good idea here, but I'm failing to understand where I need to go. There's no indicator that says, hey, your delivery's this way. There's no rhyme or reason. These are all the same houses. They're all just randomly spaced or randomly distributed. So I have no idea where I need to take the bread. Apparently I just need to wander around the town until I find a green doormat. Oh wait, this says I can go up here. Wait, what did that do? I'm so confused. That flipped this thing, but that doesn't really tell me anything. I'm still carrying bread. Who wants bread? Anybody? Bread, bread, bread. Bread, bread. Anybody want bread? No bread? Okay. There's no one over here. Can we get more bread? No, can't get more bread. Oh, hey, now... Okay, so we unlocked it, and then we had to come down here, and we get a speed up, so I guess storage. So now there's 2 breads. Okay, so now we can pick up 2 bread. Okay, so we can deliver to this house. And this house. Okay, so we've delivered our 2 bread. What is that? That looks like a snake. Okay, so that doesn't unlock yet. Do we have to... Shoe. Okay, how do we get that to work? Do we have to do more bread deliveries? I don't see green. Does anybody else see a green? I'm not seeing green. Oh, there's a green. Drop off that bread. Oh boy, that thing was fast. I don't think its speed is normalized. Yep. Okay. Okay. So let's get back over here and fix my stuff. Right there. Boom. Okay. So that one it's kind of like a paperboy, bread delivery paperboy thing. It was very confusing. This tutorial did not really help. I mean, I understand I had the space to pick up. This wasn't clear that we had to bring it to a green one. But again, we don't have a indicator of like where in the neighborhood. We have to follow the neighborhood around. And then space here to unlock it, and then you have to go down to here. Yeah, the tutorial of just a couple screenshots is not very intuitive design, but you had an idea here. You know, if you went, wow, I'm getting the thick New England accent going here without even trying. So let's, trying to think here. What else could we suggest? Maybe we go back and we look at like Paperboy, and look at the mechanics that Paperboy did, and try to do something along those lines where you have a delivery route and you had an idea exactly of where you were needed to deliver stuff. This one was a little confusing. It wasn't broken like the bird mouse game, whatever that was, but interesting. I much appreciate the hand-drawn art style. The picking up the bread, putting it in the storage. We have that. What do they call those? It's almost like a roguelite where you're getting upgrades each time you successfully complete something, and then suddenly out of blue there's a snake that's super fast. Interesting. So, okay. Let's take a look at the next one. Food delivery flight. This is Russian. Oh, hey, look. Oh, good. English. Okay. So you're a delivery pilot in a world where food has gone mad. Your mission is to survive as long as possible while the game window relentlessly shrinks. Oh boy, that sounds fun. Game window gets smaller every second. Collect cups of coffee to freeze the shrinking or expand the borders. Zombie food. Beware flying burgers, hot dogs, and other frenzied snacks. Screen shake on collisions for maximum impact. The game is built entirely in Go using the EBIT engine, okay, and WebAssembly. Okay, seems like a pretty straightforward. It didn't have controls here, so I'm probably going to assume WASD. So let's go here. Spacebar to start. We got some stuff over on the side that it says WASD on the side. It's in German, so okay. So it said avoid the food, collect coffee cups. Which ones are coffee cups? I'm gonna assume those things that. Whoops, that doesn't look like a coffee cup. Nope. That looks like a coffee. Oh wait, that's a coffee cup. There we go. Okay. So basically, if it's green, avoid it. If it's a white coffee cup, then we can pick it up. Okay, so let's see here. So far, we don't have any audio. Interesting. Okay, so it's just a standard, almost like bullet hell, avoid the top thing. I do like the growing image of the coffee cup. That's pretty cool. The blue to indicate that it's freezing. That's awesome. This is a little weird that it's shrinking to the top left instead of shrinking all the way around. If I was going to do something like this, I'd have it shrink in so that, oops, got my fingers off the WASD keys. I'd have it shrink in so the entire screen is shrinking versus going up and left. That just seems very odd and out of place. And then, this live thing down here that looks like a barrel with apples in it. I kind of understand where they're going with it's a food delivery service, but it still just seems very, very odd. Not to mention green flying food in outer space seems very odd. But I think the big takeaway from this is this game needs audio. That's the big thing here. You got that nice little freeze. You drink the coffee. I would probably, especially with you doing it as freezing, maybe instead of a cup of coffee, I would do like a cup of iced coffee, because then it freezes and then you can have that nice chill effect, and it says, oh, let's freeze this. And it kind of makes sense with the blue, because normally you're going to associate coffee as something that's hot. It's going to be invigorating. It gives you energy because of all the caffeine, stuff like that, and make you go faster, whereas you're having it here freeze stuff. So I would probably change that just slightly around. Again, add some sound effects in there. I think that would definitely help that a lot. But overall, that I don't have a whole lot of other notes on that. It's very... I think the the shrinking rate is a little slow for how fast that game becomes repetitive with just dodging the same things over and over and grabbing a coffee cup. I think that shrinking needs to be a lot faster, because you kind of, I could have kept going on that one, but you almost feel like, okay, I've seen enough of this. It's time to give up. So if that were shrunk faster and then the objects started appearing, first really slow and then faster and faster, I got the feeling that they were increasing, but at the same time, I didn't really feel the pressure from the screen shrinking. So, okay, so that was food delivery flight. Okay, let's go back to page 1. Excuse me. Magic Forest, no image. WASD move, AD, charge enemy to attack. Wait, we're using WASD and AD? Okay, space, attack, and interact. C is to close, go back. Okay. There's no other instructions here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it's taking just a second here to load. Okay. And let's see here. And apparently all my streaming stuff is off, but not sure if that's Guy or Logan, but I see your message, and I'm enjoying playing these games so far. So let's see where this ends up. First task, fish soup. Recipe book, give orders. Boop, boop, boom. Okay, let's see if we can go. There we go, full screen. Okay, I'm going to apologize again. I'm on an ultra wide monitor, so some of the edges are going to be cut off for you guys. Fish soup. Space, here we go. Hog meat, fish soup. Here we go. Fish, and a mushroom. Okay. So we need to figure out how do I, C close. Okay. Cook here, give orders here. Oh, we don't have an order to give. Cook here. Cook. Okay. Cook. Oh, go through the door to the magic forest. Okay, magic forest it is with flying fish and. Okay, what was it to attack? It said space, right? To attack. Oh, space to attack and open skill set. Physical attack. Okay, I'm gonna just go back to this so that hopefully you guys can see this. Okay, and let's see. We need a mushroom, and something else. I don't remember what the other thing is. So let's go find another mushroom. There we go. There we go. You won. I didn't do anything yet. Okay, physical attack. Okay. So we got 2 mushrooms, I think. Can I see my inventory? Can I see inventory, tab, space, open skills list? Okay. I'm going to go back to full screen here so it captures my cursor better. Let's go back here, exit. Okay, recipe book, we need, 2 fish and a mushroom. Okay, so let's go back out and get our fish. Oops. Wrong button again. Okay, we need to get some fish. Oh, look, we got fish and a mushroom. Okay, so let's physical attack. Okay, we hit the fish. It looks like the fish hit us. We have no indication right now of what enemy is selected, what our health is. So I have no idea if I'm about to die, if I'm going to, what's going to happen here. I'm assuming because the way the fish is pulsing, that's who I have targeted. Okay. I'm assuming I just took a hit. I don't know how the mushroom died, but okay. Okay. So I think we have enough ingredients. We have our magic door here. Okay, so let's cook. Cook. There we go. We need a mushroom, fish, and a fish. Cook. Cook. Okay. My full screen, it was... I couldn't click on anything because this was overlapping the interface. So let's put the fish soup. You win. I didn't have time to complete a win screen. Okay, that's much appreciated. You've got a cool idea here to start with. There's definitely some clunky interface. I'm still, impressed with what you do have. And, this is kind of like we're taking Played Up and we're putting it into, taking Played Up, meshing it with like Zelda Breath of the Wild, where you have to find the ingredients and cook them. And then you have your orders and your recipe book here. It's cool. And I appreciate it. The combat is very muddy and hard to understand. I don't know who I'm targeting. I don't know what's happening. I'm clicking on buttons and I'm just assuming by the animations about what's happening, but there's no feedback. So if I was going to go forward with this, work on the interface some more, make it so it's a little bit more clear, and in the combat, make sure you show that, hey, there's a target reticle or there's something like that, and you can clearly see how or who you're targeting, and then give some feedback, floating numbers, a health bar, anything like that. You're giving me the option of physical attack and heal. I don't know if I need to heal because I have no idea what my health is. I have, I'm physically attacking. Did it hit anything? When I'm fighting the fish and the mushroom, I'm assuming I'm attacking the fish because the fish vibrated like this, and then the mushroom attacked me and disappeared. Maybe he's doing some like suicide attack. I don't know what's happening because I can't figure it out. So I think that's the big thing here is you have the start of the combat, but there's no actual feedback. So I think that's where I would go to improve on this one. Feed Nico. Let's take a look at this one. Give the supposed dietary fish in order to gain its essence back. Oh, deity. Deity, not dietary. There's no R in there. Use the essence to uncover new fishing spots and resonate with them. Okay, WASD, escape to exit fishing, and space to enter fish. Okay, let's see here. Oh, we got some music. Let's just gonna check my OBS just to make sure that the... Don't know how loud that is for you guys, but hopefully that's coming across. Oh, there's some music. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go back over here. I'm just going to close this chat because this chat is not showing anything. Okay. Let's see. Nico Exchange. Okay, first I just want to point out these colors are... I like the colors, but them together is very much a... what's the word I'm looking for? An accessibility issue, especially this orange and purple. If this was like a darker purple and this was a brighter orange, something that has more contrast makes it easier to read. Right now, this is very hard to read. Let's see. I require more fish. And it's also hard to read because this is so blindingly bright. You can actually see it on my face in the camera. I require more fish for the crude gluttony. Okay. Feed Nico by clicking on the fish you want to gift. Well, I don't have any of these. Are these lures? What are these? Or is this my money? I think that's going to be my money. Okay, so let's go find some fishing. Does that do anything? No. Okay. Sir, do I just hit space? Is there a fishing spot? Okay. It says space to enter fishing. Okay. very confused. Wait, what just happened there? Okay, we got a scene transition way before I was expecting one to happen. Oh, what's this? What's this? Is this a fishing spot? Okay. This is a fishing game, and I can't figure out how to fish. Okay. I mean, it's nice, pleasing, gentle music, which that's a really good, nice thing. But how do I get in the boat? Okay, let me just scroll down here. I want to see if there's any. Okay. I don't understand how we fish. I'm hitting spacebar. I'm at the edge. I don't see a way for us to fish. There's another place over here I haven't been. Let's go explore that. Maybe there's a fishing dock or something. Hey, this is green. Okay, here we go. Press space to play. Okay. That was not intuitive at all. That's how we had to do this. Okay, so this is, I'm assuming, I don't play Stardew Valley, but I'm assuming that's the Stardew Valley fishing thing. I'm confused. Am I catching fish? I am very confused. I don't understand if I'm catching fish or not. Am I failing? I mean, I got this thing bouncing, trying to keep the fish in the meter, and then this other meter going up. Okay, escape. Did I catch anything? Yes, I did. Okay, these weren't the fish I thought I caught, but okay, let's give them... Okay, so you give them this fish, and this is what you get back. Okay, let's give them these, and why wouldn't I just give them all the fish? Okay. Did that open new fishing spots for me? Did it give me any progression? I don't understand. Don't understand what the currency does. Okay, so when I keep the fish in the bubble, the left meter goes up. This is very hard to do with the spacebar. So I'm guessing I caught it. Okay, I think I've played enough of this one to go. Let's see here. And yeah, okay. So we got a nice looking game here. It's got a nice little. Not quite like Game Boy Advance, but like better than Game Boy, you know, somewhere in between their style. I would love to say Pokemon style. I'm not a Pokemon player, but it's kind of give me that type of vibe. You know, Earthbound with a kid with the baseball cap type stuff. It's cool. It's not intuitive what you have to do. You start off talking to him, and he's like, "Hey, give me a fish, and here's your, you know, eel or whatever it was I caught." There was no indicator that I caught an eel in the fishing game, so I had no idea what I have. I have no way to look at my inventory to know what I have until I get back to him, and then I'm catching all this stuff to get this money, some currency of something, and I have no idea what it's used for. So what I would suggest moving forward with this, if you wanted to, do it more, would be, outline, hey, I need you to go catch fish from me. Head due south, and there's a fishing, a beach spot, a green box, some indicator to tell the player exactly where they have to go, instead of wandering around and we keep seeing the red spots first and going, well, I can't use these apparently. And then who knows, maybe I'm missing something here with unlocking those red spots because with currency, I don't know. But you need to be a little bit more clear. I think you've got the sound is good, or not sound, the music's good. There is no sound. So I would definitely suggest adding some sound, especially in the fishing mini game, because if you add some sound in there, you can get some real good tension going on of, hey, the fish is getting away. Oh, you're doing a good job. Oh, it's getting away. Viva La Dirt League did a 2D pixel fishing game. Nice Day for Fishing, I think is what it was called. And where they have that, where you can kind of sense of what's good and what's bad. And it helps ramp up the intensity and gets the player to buy into the game a little bit more. Like I said, from watching my wife play Stardew Valley, that's kind of what I see here. I haven't played it myself, so I don't know if it's the exact same, but it kind of looks like that. But that's my feedback for this one. And then you have a Y sort problem right there. So, okay, let's go back here. Let's look at 18. You got pizza dough. Okay, bunch of arrows. This seems like it's probably going to be a puzzle game. Bunk. Hello, daughter. Let's see here. Game jams always remind me of why I'm a programmer in the first place. Present submission for a tiny jam. Okay. The game, it's a factory game where you build a conveyor belt system, move pizza dough through a series of machines. The goal is to route dough pieces from producers to the end station by placing the rotating conveyors and jump pads and processing machines. As more dough is delivered successfully, the score increases. That was the whole idea, but the execution was poor. Okay, so first suggestion is don't detract from your game before someone even plays it. You can leave it with, I have ideas to expand it, but I wouldn't, undercut a person playing it, because if they're reading this before they even hit play, they're probably not going to play your game. So you're your own worst critic, so you already know what you didn't do right and what you think you did right. Leave that stuff out. Just say, hey, there's stuff I can do to improve it, but don't undersell it. And basically you're telling whoever reads this, don't play my game. So don't do that. I understand the feeling. I've been there myself, but you need to be a lot more positive, and people are going to try the game. They can understand, this is a game jam game, so it's not fully baked, so to speak. So just don't undersell yourself right from the get-go. Highly recommended playing the tutorial. If not, right mouse button and move. It gives a look. Okay. Place is left button in build mode. Move is WASD or Udler. That must be for a Dvorak keyboard or something. Scroll wheel up is to raise. Scroll wheel. Nope, not scroll wheel down. Okay. Raise or lower. Oh, raise or lower. Scroll wheel. Okay. Rotate pieces are R and Shift R. Okay. Thoughts, just me yapping. Project is really fun. Thought conveyor system would be easy with scheduling, and boy, was I wrong. I've thought about trying to make a game with a conveyor belt before, and the more I thought about it, I went, wow, that can go wrong so bad and run and just get so convoluted that I've changed my mind before doing that game jam. Let's see, some texture rendering stuff. Okay, I haven't done 3D, so I can't really comment too much on that, especially UI. Okay, so planned features not present. I wanted to have some more stuff in here. Okay, let's get into the game. Let's try this. Oh, come on, Unity. There we go. Okay. Let's go back here into this mode. Let me just see if I can zoom in, make it a little bit bigger, so then we don't, my ultra wide doesn't become a deterrent for this. Oh, it probably will, because now this is here. Okay, well, let's put it back. Reset. Okay. Hey, here we go. Let's see if we can keep it this way. Perfect. Tutorial.
Hey, my name's Ben.
Oh.
It's like really late, and I didn't want to type all this, so I'm going to talk you through the tutorial. Step 1, you're going to look around. So you're going to write, all right, sweet. So now turn around, and I'm going to need you to walk towards that object. You can use the WASD keys or up, down, left, right, whichever you prefer. Quick developer note. Great. Okay, so now look up, and to fly,
I was not expecting
press
the developer note to cut me off.
Key, or you're going to scroll up on your mouse.
Okay, so scrolling up is very awkward. E, that's fine. That's kind of flying like Minecraft, but scrolling up is
now,
very weird.
Look down, and you're going to need to fly down to that object. You can fly down either using Q or scrolling down on your mouse. Alright, so a button should have popped up that says Producer. Alright, so now you need to place that object by clicking anywhere on the grid. Okay, great. Now there should be a conveyor button that popped up. Go ahead. Alright, now place the conveyor underneath the producer that you placed earlier.
Is this underneath? Okay, so this is going to be the part that's going to be a little hard. Trying to figure out what is underneath. Because the shadow for it's over there, but I think that's underneath.
Okay, great. I'm not really sure if you actually placed it underneath it or not, but you placed one. I was too lazy to make the necessary changes to the script to make that work, to know for sure. But if you didn't, you probably should. And now there should be a button that popped up that says End. You're going to need to go ahead and place the end at the... Okay, so now click that little button that just appeared on the far right. It should look like an eraser. Okay, now go ahead and click on something and delete.
Okay, so that was the end of the tutorial, apparently. Okay. I did. It was very unexpected to have a voice walkthrough for the tutorial. That is actually really nice. I did enjoy it. There are some things when you start doing like developer note, and the fact that I was able to cut you off by reaching the objective ahead of time kind of threw me off for a loop. But again, don't lead with language like I was too lazy to do this. You know, it's a game jam. You could say we ran out of time. I wasn't able to accomplish this yet. You know, again, just say, you know, this is stuff that could be coming. It's future plans, or, you know, don't say I'm too lazy. You're just running yourself down. You don't want to do that. You want to build up your game. You know, you may think it's a hot pile of garbage, but you still want someone to play it. You put it out there into a game jam. You put it on itch. You still want someone to play it. So pump it up. You know, let's get interest in it. If they've already come this far, let's not keep trying to knock them back. You had that in the description. You had that in the tutorial. You're like telling someone, don't play my game. You don't want to do that. Let's build it up. They understand that this is a simple game. So, okay, let's try the challenge mode here. Current score, time left. Okay. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Let's fly up so we can get a good view. Okay, so I don't understand. So I guess we just have to get all this stuff into, so we rotate R. Okay, we rotate there, rotate there. Oop, nope, nope. Undo. Where was that undo button? Is it this one? This one. There we go. And we want to do a conveyor belt, but we want to rotate it. Okay. So that gets that one taken care of. Oh, you know, this reminds me of this old game. I can't remember the name of it now, but it was a train game where you had to make all the tracks, but you had to make sure that they didn't overlap with each other. This is kind of what that reminds me of. Okay, for these like long streaks, being able to click and hold would be really nice. You know, kind of like in Minecraft where you can build all the blocks at once. Okay. So we got that one working. Let's get this one working here. You know what? I'm going to build this one slightly backwards. Let's do here. Rotate. Rotate here. The Shift R is too awkward for me, so I'm gonna rotate it more times. Oops. And let's see. Let's delete that one. Okay. Okay. So we got those being delivered. Those being delivered. What else we got here? We've got. Oops. How did I miss that? There we go. Okay. So that's being delivered there, that's being delivered there, that's being delivered there. I don't understand what we're supposed to do with this one because there's nothing. Oh wait, what's this? Jump. Okay. Where was our red box? Red box is over there. Okay, let's make it jump that way. Okay. And then let's rotate. So I'm going to assume. Oh, hey, I just overwrote a gray box with a conveyor belt. Well, that kind of, you know what? Let's see if that is actually true that we can do that. Because if that does that, that really invalidates your, yeah, invalidates the play. And look, we just laid a double one there. Okay. Hey, look, I'm not even playing. My score is still going up. Okay. So the big takeaway from this one, it's a cool idea. I kind of like what you were going for with this. I like that type of puzzle. I don't know if what you have here needs 3D. I'm sure that maybe when you're more advanced things that you're thinking of, it might actually need the 3D, but I think this may not. I think this one may have actually been detrimental by going 3D. You know, if there was something more, if you had like chutes and slides and actually more 3D movement than what you have, because your just basic stuff here is the jump pads are just jumping over. I mean, the closest thing you have is this dispenser drops down onto a belt, but you could just make that a 2D object and say, here's where it's going to spit out. You know, it's not going to do much. But the biggest takeaway I have for this developer is, you know, don't knock yourself down. Don't make your, you know, undersell your game. You know, build it up. You may not think, you know, Ben, as you introduce yourself in the tutorial, you know, you may not think much of this game. You may think it's trash. But you know what? It's actually pretty good. You have a good start for something here. There's definitely some stuff that needs polish, but you have the start of something, and it could definitely turn into something really good. So don't undersell yourself. You know, don't turn your players away before they have a chance to play your game. So, okay. Let's see here. Let's go back. What we got next? We got Cake Hunter. WASD to move, QE to turn, left click to shoot, right click to zoom, and shift to sprint. No AI was used because we actually care about our work and creating media that has real human care put into it. Okay. I've been into way too many AI debates lately. I'm not going to comment on that. We're just going to keep moving on. Okay, let's go see here. Cake Hunter. What was this made in? Start the hunt. Okay. You can only shoot while zoomed. Okay, so we have no up and down. We can spin left and right. And we can zoom in. But we can't aim up and down. So we're talking like old Doom and Wolfenstein 3D type stuff. So apparently I'm looking for cake. Something. Okay, so when I change directions, like I'm running straight, and I turn and look this way, I have like this momentum, that first-person shooters usually don't have. It feels very awkward to me. Oh, hey, what's this? It says there's cake. Okay. Is there a cake slaughtered one? Okay, so we're just counting how many cakes we kill. Okay, the fact that you're giving you're giving like the little, it's over here? I don't quite understand. Is it just because players were getting frustrated and you felt like you had to do that? Or is it because I've taken too long to find a cake? Don't know about that. Okay. We assume it's because I've taken too long. Okay. Dong, dong, dong. Oh, hey, there was a cake there. That wasn't a cake. Okay, what just happened here? Okay, I'm very confused. Okay. So either I just hard locked the game or I've completed it? I don't know. So the big thing here is they have the momentum movement, and while that could be useful for your game, it doesn't make sense. And the big thing I'm getting here is, again, there's no verticality in the aiming. So it feels very weird. It's not what a player's going to expect, especially anybody who plays any kind of first-person shooter games. So that's going to feel a little bit weird. If you're just playing with keyboard and not mouse, if maybe you took away the mouse interaction and just made it keyboard only, that might make that feel a little bit more natural. But with the mouse aiming and not being able to look up and down, it's not great. Go back and play the original Doom, not GL Quake or GL Doom or whatever that one is that adds verticality. It feels very weird when you move with the mouse in old school Doom. We have figured out first person shooters in the last 30 years now, 33 years since Doom came out. We figured that stuff out. So let's go with that. But overall, it was interesting. The visuals were nice. I don't understand why sometimes I was told, hey, here's the cake. If I'm a hunter, I should be looking for and trying to find it. But it was interesting. Yeah. And I have lost my cursor. Where did my cursor go? There it is. Okay. Cake Hunter. Run, cheese, run. And notice I'm not, besides the overall ranking, I'm not looking at any of the other individual scores or anything. Use the arrow keys to move, spacebar to jump, survive as long as possible. Oh wow, they use quite a bit of different assets here. Okay, let's see. Spacebar to jump, arrow keys to move. Okay, already loving the music. Music is great. The art that just went by, it looks like quite the different mix of assets, but let's see what this is like. Okay. Oh, we're the cheese. Okay, that's right. Okay. Okay. Wow. We don't... Oh, I was still alive. Oh, I thought I was dead. This guy feels like very much the anti-Vampire Survivors, where I'm not trying to kill all the mobs as they cluster up around me. I'm trying to get away from them all. I don't know if I was supposed to be able to jump over that wall or not, but I definitely did. I wonder if I can jump over other walls. I was just curious if maybe I can jump out of bounds. Oh, yep, I can, but it gets reset. Oh, there we go. I have broken your game. There we go. Now I'm back in bounds. Okay, music doesn't loop. Music doesn't loop. It's all over. Okay. I have a minute left. Oh, okay. Did everybody just get stuck trying to chase me? So I don't know if there's a limited number of bad guys in this or not, but it seems to be the challenge is gone for me because I've gotten far enough away. I'm just not. Don't run into any problems here. And that's weird that I can jump through walls like this. So yeah, so once the music is gone, you had me. You had a good bite at the beginning here. I keep making food puns without meaning to, but yeah, the artwork with the mice and the rats running across, the music that you had chosen, it was very much kind of like Tetris. You had that music that just kind of keeps compelling you to keep playing. It's just really chip tune intensive, and it's great. That was really cool. But again, with the music not looping and not being a challenge after the first couple attempts, that's where I would probably focus most on this. Trying to think here if there's other stuff. There's no sound effects. You have the good music, but I'm just trying to see here. Do you have music? Yeah, there's no sound effects listed here. So, yeah, sound effects. Cheese. I think it might be more interesting if you had made it a wheel of cheese, so then it rolls around the dungeon, whereas it's just sliding this triangle piece. It's kind of seems a little weird. You have a mix of assets in there, which happens when you get assets from everywhere. So there's no cohesive view of this, and it was a little odd being able to jump across geometry the way I did. So that's my big feedback from that. You did a good job at the beginning. You got the hook. You got like, hey, this is going to be fun, and then you lost it probably about 30 seconds into it. So just keep refining that loop and just make it a little bit more fun. Try to maybe space out so the enemies don't all just cluster together. Maybe have some that hang around over here. You go, hey, he's at, I've lost track of the cheese. I'm just going to mull around over here randomly. And then once the cheese is back in the area, then go. So then you don't just cluster all the enemies here and then run to the other side of the dungeon. Then there's no one there. Okay, let's see. Let's go cook and run. What we got here? Hi everyone, it's first video game for a jam. Apologize in advance for the sprites. I'm not the greatest artist, but I try my best. Okay, so kind of like I said to the other one, don't apologize for it. Just go, hey, I'm still working on my sprites. These are all handcrafted. Enough said. Don't undersell yourself. Don't start the expectations on a down note. You're a chef at a strange carnival. Your goal is to escape while distracting people with your delicious food. Okay. Makes sense. We got some music, we got some sound effects. We don't have anything about how to play, but it looks like we have recipes. So let's give this a shot. Okay, cook and run. Okay, so we want choose a combination of ingredients and make a meal. So if we do bread and meat, we get a burger. Tap here the results. Oh, and that's what these guys want. Okay, so bread and meat. Oh, gotta click those. There we go. Okay, we're gonna pick up a pepper. Mistake? Didn't I feed that guy? Okay. Use the hot pepper in any food to defeat enemies. Use them to defeat hordes or quickly. Okay. I need dough and cheese for pizza. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but it looks like it's dough and meat. Is it calzone, maybe? I don't know. This is a sandwich. grilled cheese. Here you go. That's the wrong thing. This one's a burger. That's a burger. Grilled cheese. Grilled cheese. Hot pepper. Oh, they just follow. Okay. Okay. The other thing that feels very odd is every time one of these is coming, you drop a hot pepper first. It doesn't, you know, there's got to be some other way to possibly defeat those. Same with this. It's like, how am I gonna? Nope, that's the wrong thing. There we go. Okay. What was this again? That? Nope. This. Okay, I'm getting all corn-fused here. Burger. I can do burgers. Wonder if there's an end to this or not. I mean, there's been a lot of mistakes. I don't know. Okay. So I feel like... Okay. How'd that... He sat down. How did I make a mistake on that? I don't understand. Why is there two stands here? Oh, the stands don't actually do anything. Okay. Pepper, pepper. Oops. That's not gonna work. Spicy grilled cheese. Spicy pizza. Okay. Apparently there's no end. I don't think there's an end to this, so... So, interesting game. I'm gonna just back off to stop the music there. Interesting game. I see what it was doing. Again, it's kind of like a played up type thing combined with an endless runner. There was no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no fail state. There's nothing there to make the player care if they failed besides the fact that the mistake counter was going up. So that part was a little bit rough. So, and we had a couple times where, you know, I'll have to go back and look at the footage, but I felt like I served the right food, but it still counted as a mistake. So I don't know if maybe it was just the timing, like I hit the hitbox before the food got delivered. I don't know. It was interesting. It got repetitive very fast, and it got a little too intense at the beginning. I'm sure once you actually know the 3 recipes inside and out. But I think with the pixel art, it was a little harder for me, at least, to get my head wrapped around it. And I felt like I wanted the planning, the cooking interface to come up long before it did, because it felt like a couple times it came up way too late. Like I didn't have enough time to process what I needed to build for the recipe and send out the food. So the other thing too is having the enemies sit down when they've been defeated. Because you're using a pixel art, you're only shifting them down by 1 pixel. There's several times where I went, wait, did I get them or did I not get them? Just because all you're doing is making them sit down. So maybe, you know, change the color as well. Have some, you know, some sound effect, you know, like, you know, like I've had good food, or yum, you know, something like that. And if it's the wrong one, you know, get some type of angry sound or something like that. Or, you know, something like, you know, if they get to you before you serve them, you know, how the sound effect, I want to talk to your manager, you know, something like that. Just a little bit more clear feedback to the player. Okay, let's play Where's My Food? Speaking of which. It's late at night. Your job as a butler is to deliver a delicious plate of food to the master of the house. However, the ghosts lingering in the hallways are starving. Avoid the enemies along the way to satisfy your master's appetite. Okay, so avoid ghosts. WASD, E to deliver. Okay. quick sip of water here. Let's see. We don't have a full screen button, so this is. Let me see if I can zoom it in just a little bit. Okay. WAS D to move, E to interact. Got it. Okay. First off, where am I bringing this food? Oh. Okay. Okay, the speed is, we're very zoomed in. It's very fast. I can't really see, except for the fact that there's ghost everywhere. E? I don't understand where I'm taking this. Is there supposed to be a person? Yeah, with the speed at which this is going, I mean, it looks really nice, but it's way too zoomed in, and the speed at which this is going is just too fast. And there's no, like, indicator here in the screenshots or anywhere else that says, where I'm delivering this to. And that doesn't help either. It's like, where am I delivering it to? What's the master look like? Is there an indicator anywhere about who the master is? Again, the sound was cool, the music, and the hey, that was kind of cool. But the not being able to tell where I'm going. There's no, as far as I can tell as a player, there's no win condition. I just run out of time. And that's it. So let's go back here and let's try the next one. That's my feedback on that one. Let's see, Pixel Scoops. Let's take a look at this. Hey, here we go. We got a little description. What can Pixel Scoops? Cozy and chaotic pixel art, ice cream shop where speed and accuracy are key to happy customers. Okay, this sounds like a game that my son loves to play with animals coming up, and he serves them different types of ice cream. Let's see. In this fast-paced serving game, customers stop at the counter, ice cream orders, job simple, build this combo. It sounds just like the game my son plays. Pick the right flavors, stack the scoops, and serve them as quickly as possible. Be careful. Shop gets busy fast. One wrong scoop could cost you a satisfied customer. Okay. How many perfect orders can you serve before the rush overwhelms you? Choose whether to serve the ice cream in a cone or a cup. Pick up the scoop, drag it across the flavor you want. Oh, okay. So we got to physically, we got to Nintendo Wii it. The longer you drag, the bigger the scoop. Click on the cup or cone to place your scoop. Okay. If you make a mistake, hover over the trash and click to throw the stuff away. Match the customer's order as closely as possible. When the order is ready, ring the bell to serve it. Okay. And again, I'm playing in ultra wide, so the game itself should fit the screen, but the text box is a little bit big. Oh, how to play. Choose whether to serve ice cream. Oh, well, I could just play the tutorial instead of reading the thing. Okay. Pick up the scoop and drag it. Okay. Yep, we got this. Yep. Can you become the ultimate Pixel Scoops master? Okay, so that's a scoop. Give me chocolate scoop sitting on top of a strawberry one in a cup. Okay, so we need a cup. We need this. We need a strawberry scoop. Chocolate one. Boom. Where's... Okay. Okay. Get a single scoop of chocolate in a cone. Oh, so we got some other stuff. Syrup, whipped cream, cherry, sprinkles, cups, cones. Oh, there's trash. Okay. I'd like a stack and a cup. Okay, we take a cup. Chocolate at the bottom, strawberry in the middle, and strawberry on top. Okay. Chocolate, strawberry, strawberry. Oh, do I actually have to stack it? Don't know. Is there any meter on here? I'm looking, how am I doing? Have my customers happy? I mean, I don't know. Let's see what happens when we mess up the next one. Give me a vanilla scoop sitting on top of a chocolate one in a cone. Okay. There we go. Oh, she's got a little sad face. Oh, okay, so I can't serve that to her unless I give her the right stuff. Okay, let's see here. So we give that chocolate one. Come. Why aren't you happy? Oh, vanilla scoop on top. Reading is fundamental. And the thing, I started this off by failing on purpose. Neapolitan stack in the cone. Okay, with vanilla on the bottom. Then strawberry. And then chocolate. You can get a vanilla scoop sitting on top of a strawberry one in a cone. Okay, having to pick up the scoop every time is very annoying. Double vanilla in a cone. Classic in a cup. Chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. Chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. Single scoop of chocolate in a cup. There we go. Chocolate scoop sitting on top of a strawberry one in a cup. And she's gone. Give me a chocolate scoop sitting on top of a strawberry one in a cup. Oh, come on. There we go. What? Oh, I missed the cup. Come on. Oh, wait. Take it. Okay, get a stack in the cup. Strawberry at the bottom, chocolate in the middle, and chocolate on top. So as long as I put them on the cup the right order, the actual thing doesn't really matter. Okay, again, is there a fail state in this? All these people are unhappy, but... Chocolate in a cone. I mean, I feel the, the pressure of, hey, I want this done, but... So, this person, once they get in line, they won't time out. It was just all these other people who are waiting get upset. You know what? I don't have any money. I don't have a score. There's no reason for me to rush. Oh, you wanted a cup. God, my money with how much ice cream I'm throwing away, I'm gonna be out of business. I'm craving a stack in a cup. Chocolate at the bottom, vanilla in the middle. And vanilla on top. Okay. Okay. I think at this point, I think I've played the game because it doesn't appear to be there's any fail state. There's no score that I can tell. I can't see how many I've done properly. I can't see how many I've not done. I haven't had any come in here asking for these. Let's just make sure that chocolate. Let's grab some cherries. Oh, I can't eat. Do I have to have a scoop for those? Nope. Okay, I guess I can't use those. So it's just these and this. Let's go back to full screen. Let's just double check. Pick up this. Nope. Okay. So this, if this isn't part of the game, the sprinkles, cherries, whipped cream, chocolate syrup, I'm sure it's a future expansion, but the fact that I can't interact with these at all, you know, that just feels very weird. And my big feedback for this would be, you get rid of the scoop. You know, change the cursor into a scoop. You know, we grab this, you know, instead of having to pick this up every time. I know if I was in an actual ice cream shop, I'd have to do that. Also, this, you know, a little bit versus a lot, there's no real reason for one or the other, because there's no one saying I want a little tiny bit on top or I want a lot. So the size doesn't really matter. It's just kind of a, hey, we did this cool thing with scaling. So I think that stuff would be, you know, add in a win state, a fail state, make it so you don't have to pick up the scoop every time. That's very annoying. You know, it'd be different if you had to pick up the scoop and then you had to pick up the sprinkles and shake the sprinkles. You know, if there's some other interaction that you have to do besides click on a cone or a cup, and when you click on those just automatically get put in the right spot to start with. So there's no reason for you to not have the scoop in your hand at one time. So that would be my feedback for this. You got the sound effects, you got the music, you've got the different pixel art here, you've got a little bit of, I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if this is just some texture filtering or not, but these customers appear a lot more blurry than how crisp and sharp this stuff is. So I don't know if it's just a filtering thing or if these got scaled up or what it is. But the scale of these is definitely off, so that might be something to keep in mind going forward. But yeah, good job. Looks like we're getting into the more meaty games. So let's see. Let's go to Sushi Stacker. Really nice concept. Okay. Kind of like Tetris. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let me see. Side comment over here. Logan got sick that weekend, so this is the product of one day of effort. We wanted to have toppings and money, just had no time. Thanks for the feedback. You're welcome. Okay, Sushi Stacker. Timed, relax, how to play. Press C to hold, space. Okay, this is very loud. I'm going to turn this down just slightly. Where is the program audio? There we go. I'm going to turn it down. My headphones too. Okay. Let's see here. Hold next. Press space or enter to drop. Oh, see. Okay, like Tetris. We're going to hold the piece to use later. Okay. So do we move it? We just hit space. Press C to hold. Space or enter to drop. Oh, this is just a how-to screen. I was trying to actually interact with it. Okay. Let's just play relaxed. So we do this. Let's drop it here. Okay. Can we rotate it? Oh, down apparently drops as well. Okay. How many do we have to line up for it to be done? Well, apparently it's more than 4. I am very confused because all we're doing, I guess it was called Sushi Stacker, wasn't it? We're just trying to put as many pieces of sushi as we can. Okay, well I clicked go to menu and it put me right back into the game. I don't understand what we're doing. Okay, so it's not like Tetris. Okay. Go to menu. Okay. The go to menu is not working. Okay, so are we going to try to do... Okay, we just... Oh! Are we trying to make these? Is that what we're trying to make? The stuff on the right? Is that what we're trying to do? Green, we need a... I don't fully understand. So if we're going to do a pink, green, and a gray. Okay, so both of those do the same thing. Okay, feedback for this one. I have no idea what's going on. It's a... I don't follow this at all. Oh, I thought I already did. I apologize. Hello, Gee's daughter. How's it going? Glad that you're able to watch. But yeah, okay, back to this one, this Tetris sushi, what do we call it? Sushi stacker. Okay, we're stacking sushi in a Tetris-like setup that doesn't clear when we line things up. So I'm very, very lost and very confused about what is happening there. It's a... I think that we had to match the patterns that are on the right to get those like triplets lined up and then they go away. I didn't fully understand. The how to play didn't really tell you how to do it. It just had space and enter the drop or C to hold. It didn't really tell you what you needed to do. The music was great. There was no sound effects that I could tell. Yeah, it was very confused. It looked nice. I will say that it looked nice, but as the actual gameplay, I didn't know what I was doing at all. So that was very confusing. That one, something, let's clarify that loop. It's not intuitive because you have a very Tetris look to the way you have that. And especially with when you hit space to drop, everything just suddenly goes down. There's no animation of it falling. It's very hard sometimes to understand what just happened. If there was a delay, like Tetris, you had the blocks come down, and then when things line up, it lights up the row and then disappears the row. If you had something like that, where if you dropped the blocks and then you made the match that made something disappear, it would highlight the match. And the match, whoever's playing it is going to go, hey, that match is like one of these up here. I understand now what's happening. Because it's like instantly gone, there's no connection. There's no understanding of what's going on. So I think that's going to be my big feedback for that is, there's a big disconnect between the beginning of the game loop and the end of your core loop. As I tell my students, you have the micro loop, the one that happens multiple times in a minute. And that one doesn't seem to close very well. So, okay, let's go to 11, Life of a Chef. Bait in 3 days. Okay, goal. Punch food into the mouth and avoid punching bombs because they explode. Okay. A and D is left and right. Left click is punch. Spacebar is jump. Okay, is this going to be a platformer? Is this going to be a food ninja? Let's see. This is going to be surprising. Okay, boom. Ah. Oh boy, and he's a little slidey. Okay. Hey, what? Why didn't that punch? Go back over there. Okay, this is some type of pineapple burger thing. Okay, the hitbox is not the size of the fist, so it's really throwing me off. Okay. if we get hit by a bomb, do we take damage, or is it only if we punch a bomb? You keep punching. Okay. 11, 12. Okay. Let's just see. Do we, if we get, we can't get hit by a bomb there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to stand up here just so then maybe I can get hit by a bomb and find out. Okay, apparently nothing happens as long as I don't punch a bomb. I don't have any fail state for not getting the food in. Okay. Oh, there's a little bit of a sound effect there. Let me put the audio back up here so we can get a little bit more volume. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so that was very... oh, there's a little bit of music. I just had it turned a little bit too far down, so I couldn't quite hear it. I get the concept. I get it. It's that micro loop that I was just talking about. The bombs always bounce in the same spot, so as long as you don't stand right there and punch, you're never going to fail. You're just going for a high score. There should be some, if we talk about the micro loop of, what we're doing is we're punching the food in the mouth. We're trying to not get hit by a bomb and just kind of rack up the score. We also need something in the mid loop of, how does the stage end? Do we get 10 pieces in and then moves on to the next stage and there's 20? There's got to be something more there. Is there a high score, once you get 10, do 2 bombs start showing up? There's got to be some difficulty ramp. But right now with the bombs always falling and bouncing in the same spot, you're missing a difficulty ramp. And so that aspect needs to get worked in there to make this into a more full loop. I do appreciate the art. You got kind of a weird mix of this hand-drawn stuff and these sort of hand-drawn 3D rendered, but this is like flat cartoon-like art. Interesting. It's a interesting little flat, kind of reminds me of the old Flash games. But yeah, I think that loop needs a little bit more addressing to go forward with that. Crazy diet. Oh, this looks like a slime monster or something. There are 3 plates in front of you. Try choosing something that, well, won't kill you right away. Good luck. Okay, but it's best to download it. Well, I don't download anything from a jam just to be safe, so... Let's see here. Crazy diet. Crazy diet. Devoured. Proceed. Quit. Easy. I think that's supposed to be standard, but there's a misspelling. So let's go easy. Proceed. Moldy coffee delivered by Bob. Perfect drink for office workers. Oh, so I gotta choose which one of these things to eat. I mean, I guess almond water? Mutated strawberry. Some believe that she is conscious. Said maggot. Very confused about what's going on here because this is like easy. I do like this creepy thing in the back and the creepy hand that keeps pulling and sliding away the dishes. That's kind of cool. Soup. Okay, so is this just totally random every time? Harm bar, poisoning bar, insanity bar. Okay, so if I choose something wrong, it's probably going to pull this up. We got, looks like 25. Let's see here. Reversed burger. May make your fingers greasy and reverse DNA. Okay. Jellyfish and permafrost. Depth of the ocean. I go with a reverse burger. Oh, look, poison. That was 4. Wire pasta. Copper pasta. Almond. Tomato soup with mushrooms growing out of it. Huh. Okay, so as we go on, this is kind of ramping up here. The almond scented water was harmful. Okay. Let's see. We got cheesy dice, eyed seaweed, bad apple. Let's go cheesy dice. Insanity, harm. Okay. Let's go with the Tide Pod. Hey, our insanity went down. Not recommended by 9 out of 10 dentists. Okay. Yeah, let's do the cheesy dice again. Well, these are going down. Okay, I'm going to start choosing the wrong thing here to see what happens. Let's do the bad apple. Okay, we went insane. Let's eat the treats with saw blades in it. Okay. Tide Pod. Ew. Hey, Dino Nugget. Drops of Dragon of Rebirth, huh? Let's keep doing this. Let's see what happens when we poison ourselves. Or go insane. Okay, we're getting there. Crazy Diet. Devoured 16. Okay. Okay, so let me think here. What do we want to make for comments on this one? This was interesting. This is the first, I think, game so far that has actually felt like a complete game. The ice cream shop was pretty close. It just lacked some of the key elements of a loop. This seems like no matter what, you're going to fail. And you get some interesting things. But it almost feels like the mid-loop goes too long. You've got the different bars based on what you eat. And then you have a high score of how many you ate. I feel like there needs to be a little bit more feedback based on your choices. Maybe a sound effect that corresponds to what you ate. If it's the razor blade or something like that, just someone's like, ow! Or the snot wire is someone's like, choking as they're drinking, that type of thing. But I'm thinking more in terms of gameplay loop. It seems the entire gameplay loop here is a fail state, because no matter what you do, eventually you're going to get presented with choices that is going to make one of your meters max out. And like even me, it was, I've got a limited time to go through all these games, but I still was already getting to the point of, well, it doesn't really matter what I choose. Is there a unique ending? If I feel insanity, do I get a different ending than if I feel poison or if I feel harm? Do I get different endings? Do I get different, does the game change as each one of those meters gets bigger? If I'm got a lot more harm, do I get presented more harm choices? If I have a high poison, does the screen tint green? Do I start, maybe getting like a shader in that gives like a wave effect? Something along those lines. This stuff is more polish, but I still feel like there still lacks that micro loop of why do I keep making a choice? It's even if this was like a Saw type scenario where it's like, hey, you're stuck here, you need to make a choice on how you're going to die. Even with Saw, they always had like, there is a possible way to get out. With this, is there a possible win scenario? Are you going to be presented with 20 choices? Can you survive all 20? If there's a definitive end goal that the player can then reach and win, I think that would take this game to the next level. It's really cool. I like the atmospheric stuff about it. This could very well be pivoted to a fun Halloween game, something a little micro thing. But I still think there's just a little bit lacking in that micro loop. that needs a little bit more polish. Let's see. Calorie Rally. Let's see. Oh, this brought us to his actual page. Okay. Calorie Rally. Okay. Let's see. Let's hit help so we can figure out how to play. Race against a competing restaurant to deliver food. Gather food items along the way to increase points. Careful, there might be construction in the road. Okay. Oh, okay. So we got, looks like a little RC car or something like that. Okay. So I want a purple car. Let's make the other guy a red. There we go. Okay. I don't understand what we're doing. We're racing. Oh, collect the food. Avoid the construction. Oh, I can race ahead. How do I collect the food? Do I have to hit space? Is there a... I'm very confused. Like, I'm driving through things now and... Did we just forget to... Did we just forget to integrate hitboxes? I don't understand. Did we forget hitboxes? Okay. Okay, so it's a two-player game because I can control with both the keyboard and the WASD keys. Okay. Okay. Now the hitbox is working. That was very weird. I don't know why that was doing that. So what happens when you hit construction? Let's see. We're at 11, 12. Nothing. We hit construction. We just get a little animation. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I like the music. Lacking sound effects. Need the sound effects in there. You know, some collection stuff. And then just player one wins. Why? Did I get because I hit 15? Is that what the win condition is? Is there a certain place on the road? I don't understand. You know what's going on, and the fact that it was two-player without realizing it was two-player. That was a little bit confusing. So, and then of course the bug of that first time. I didn't collect anything. I ran over everything. I didn't collect anything. There was no updates. So, I like the art style. I like the idea. It was just very, very confusing. So, okay, Jam for Jam. Let's try this one. Mobile puzzle game where you craft jams to please mystery crowds. No instructions, just vibes, reactions, and gradual mastery. Okay. Okay. I mean, it looks pretty. I don't understand. Okay, let's just try to play the game. The page has got too much going on. There's just too much on this page. Jam for Jam. Okay, how to play. Here we go. Okay. Music. Music is a plus. I like the music. Okay. Pick a venue. Read the crowd. Each has hidden preferences. Mix your jam. Tap your ingredients to add them. Finishing touch. Tweak the flavor, and then see what your reactions are. 5 axes. Sweet as... Okay. I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but that's the wrong axis. But okay. Intensity. How full your bowl is. Some prefer delicate jams. Currencies. Research and money. Goal. Win the championship by impressing 4 out of 6 judges. Okay. Pick a venue. Let's go with Spring Market. Sure. Okay. So we can turn on and off. That's a nice little accessibility feature. Start mixing. What am I mixing? These? Coffee. Oh, down here. Strawberry? Pick a finishing touch. A little extra honey. Okay. Okay. No strawberry. Okay. Got a little fruit punch going on here. Let's see what goes good with fruit punch. A little citrus seal. Oh boy, they did not like that at all. Okay, we're missing sound effects. That's a big detriment here. Music was kind of cool. It's already annoying me. Let's unlock some grapes. Let's start mixing here. We'll put in some grapes, some peach, and a little bit more grape. And some honey. Oh, these guys loved it. Okay. We got some money, so we got 13 total. Okay. So let's go back to... Okay, let's see. Let's grape, strawberry, blueberry. Yeah, let's do that with some fresh herbs. Well, overall, it seems to be they liked it. I don't understand. This looks like maybe a grandmother with knits. This is a tea drinking yoga person and another person. New unlocks available. Oh, we get an extra slot. Okay. So the question is, we don't have a way to understand, what worked and what didn't work. We don't have like a recipe book or something like that. And like I said, it was just jams and, let's just make it all grape. You like grape? Grape with some fresh herbs. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I'll be honest. This interface is kind of cool. I don't like the scroll bar, but again, if it's designed for mobile, I mean, that'd be flipping up back and forth. I don't find, and this just may be me, I'm not finding the fun in this. This is just mixing things together. I'm coming in here, look, there's a kid with a balloon. What's he gonna like? He's gonna probably like fruit punch, and we'll give it there. Here we go. I don't understand because there's no reference I have for this. I can't really figure out these emoticons and how everything links together. It's oh, we're out of stock for peaches and boxes. I don't understand. Yeah, it's weird because with it being a mobile game, I feel like the thing it's missing is microtransactions. It feels like it's missing you need to buy this or wait this amount of time to proceed to the next round. You'd be like, okay, if you want to unlock the farmer's market, it's 50, but you'll have to wait 10 minutes. Or you can click this, buy it for $1 and unlock it now. But at the same time, it's like there's no, I don't understand the point of the game because there's no real, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no fun. I think it's lacking fun. This is for me. I mean, please don't feel insulted by this, but we're clicking, randomly clicking, we're vibing together the ingredients and seeing what works out. This very much feels like someone could just create a cross-reference spreadsheet and map out the stuff and just be an instant win because we know all the correct formulas each time. There's not a, you put these together. You kind of like if you think back to Legend of Zelda, you put all this stuff together. Hey, you've created this new stew. This one heals 10 hit points. Oh, here's a super good stew. This one heals 25 hit points. There's no recipe book unlock. All you're doing is getting these research points and gold and just moving on to the next level. But there's nothing there for me to want to proceed to the next level because all I'm going to be doing is, clicking the same random list of ingredients going, hey, did that work? Well, we'll randomly see. And so it just feels very like it's lacking. That's the only thing I can say. There's just something lacking in that loop. There's no, I like collections. I like to be able to collect and unlock stuff. You give me a recipe book that has 120 recipes and I'm trying to figure out, which jam I need to use for each thing, but I have a recipe book. That gives me something to drive for. I'm trying to unlock all these recipes. I'm mixing combinations, trying to figure out what's what and trying to get those, kind of like if you, it's a totally unrelated game, but if you look at, say, Vampire Survivors, and you're trying to find the ultimate evolutions of weapons and their support items. You're looking at Codex book and it's just question mark plus question mark equals question mark. And then until you unlock them, you're like, I don't know what I need to do. I need to keep playing with things. And then it unlocks. I mean, that's the reward. That's the fun is, hey, I'm figuring out how to unlock this stuff and I get something more as a result. And I think there's just something missing here in the basic loop that's driving me to want to keep playing. I mean, this one was pretty quick for me to just go, I've seen it, I'm out. So I think refine that loop a little bit more, find a little bit more reward or, that mid loop that keeps the player coming back for more. Let's see, we're getting there. We're going to get through all of these here. Last food stand. Press the full screen button. Uh-oh. I always get worried when I see that because a lot of these, especially my ultra wide, it tends to break games because it likes to match the width but not the height, so things get cut off. So we'll see what happens here. Press space or tap the button to slice incoming fruit. Okay, so we're playing Fruit Ninja. Cut multiple fruits in one swing to earn combo points. Can you get to 100 points? Okay, so clearly already we have a goal. We have a win state. 100 points. So spacebar to attack. Made in Godot. Okay. So let's try this. It says go to full screen. So let's see. They did their own music and sound. So that's going to be interesting. Okay, so you can't see this, but there's score and health and stuff off to the left-hand side. Okay, so let's see. Let's start. Press and hold the button or spacebar to attack. Hit the food before it hits you. Survive as long as you can. Oh, so okay, so it's not quite Fruit Ninja. It's like it's going to be thrown at us. Oops. Start. Do I get to move? No, I don't get to move. Okay, so I have a coconut. Fruit Samurai. Okay, that was a pretty fast die. Oh, you can hold it. Okay. Let's see here. Slice. 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 Well, that was weird. There's a little delay on that slicing. I have quite the range on this sword. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is a... let me think of how... Let me see if I can do... can't really. So with the ultra wide monitor, you can clearly see the edges of everything, and the buttons were way off screen. It's a common issue, unfortunately, with an ultra wide monitor, that type of stuff happens. But let me see here. If there's a way, I wonder if I do I do this. We go back here to full screen. And if I slide this over here, there we go. So let me just slide this over and you can kind of see what I'm talking about here, where we've got with an ultra wide, it does this type of stuff where it messes it all up. And so we don't want it. We don't want it to do that if we can avoid it. Let me see if I can fix this now. There we go. Nope, that's the wrong way. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's go back here. Let me just let's actually think about other feedback. We got sound effects. We've got it's beautiful art. Some of this stuff is a little like the waterfall is a little leaves a little bit desired. Same with the rainbow. Interesting game. It feels like the way that it's staged is the samurai should be moving, but he doesn't. I mean, we've got a fail state. We've got a win state. The thing that's really odd to me, and the thing that I think I'm having the hardest disconnect with, is just how big that hurt box is for the sword swing. You know, it goes out quite a ways. I mean, he's only going to swing the sword, you know, like a width of one of the pieces of fruit in front of him, but I was slicing fruit that was quite a ways ahead. So that part is very odd to me. I think there needs to be, if you're going to have it that big, even if your sprite has the sword that's only so big, add like a visual effect, like a swoosh that covers that entire area. So then the player can understand exactly where that hitbox is, so that when they're swinging at the swords, or hurt box, whatever terminology you want to use, but where that area is where they can actually affect the fruit, so then they can understand. So I think that'd be my biggest feedback on this one, is add that visual effect to understand where the actual attack area is. That was last food stand, so we're up to Cocoa Shot. Cocoa Shot. You are a chocolate bar being attacked by healthy food. Already I'm laughing at the premise. Okay, that's cool. This is not okay. You will take control of Choco to shoot down all of the healthy foods. Being a chocolate bar, you can go into Sugar Rush to slow down time and dodge bullets. Controls. Oh, you had me for a second there. I saw the controller icons and I was like, ooh, a controller. Let's see here. WASD to move, space to shoot, shift to slow down time. Okay. Camera is slightly messed up in the menu. Not sure why. Just play small screen until you get into the actual game. Okay. We'll probably just stick with the small screen here. Okay, let's see here. What was the chocolate bar with pants? Okay. Okay. I'm very confused. Oh, are these blueberries? Are these supposed to be things we're shooting? Oh, we only shoot side to side? Okay. Do I have health anywhere? I don't have health. I don't have sound effects. I just have random blueberries appearing. Okay. Okay. So that's just weird that have the enemies just spawn underneath me. I don't know if there's no sound effects. Hey, I'm dead. Okay. That seems very... Yeah, so lacking sound effects. I think that's the big thing here is need sound effects. You have a funny premise, but the execution leaves a lot to be desired. Hey, what is this? This has health bars. I didn't see those at all on my screen. Again, this could very well be a... Oh, there they are. Okay, health bar. Okay. I did not see those at all on my ultra wide. Okay, so my ultra wide made this game unplayable. Okay, so we have some extra stuff here. We've got now health bar. We have... I don't know what this timer is. Oh, this is the slow down time thing. Okay. Forgot that there was a slow down time. Don't really know. Okay, so if I slow down time, my bullets slow down as well. So it just lets me dodge out of the way. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that's a little bit... okay. Yeah. I like the little graphic up here with the kill tracker. When I did this in ultra wide, it cut off the top and the bottom of the screen, so I didn't get to see any of this. So that made it difficult for me to play and understand. But you're dead. Okay. Yeah, music and sound effects. That's going to be the biggest thing here. The other thing that you want is some type of background. You know, if this is a chocolate bar and you're talking about sugar rushes and all that stuff, you know, maybe we want to think something like Wreck-It Ralph and what's that, Candyland? Not Candyland, but wherever the lollipop races and stuff like that are. You know, maybe it's the healthy foods are trying to invade the sugar sweet kingdom. You know, so you get some type of background to make it a little bit more interesting. Because right now you have some very basic fruits and stuff. You're just shooting. I mean, we could swap out these sprites for, you know, cowboys and bandits or something like that, and we're going to end up with the same gameplay. Kind of losing that entire premise you have between the chocolate fighting off the healthy food. You know, try to lean into that. I mean, we got the graphics to go with it, but, you know, maybe have some more stuff like, you know, the chocolate bar is shooting Hershey Kisses, and the fruits are shooting seeds. You know, something to kind of lean more into that fruit versus, you know, the food type aesthetic, instead of just giving them all guns. You know, give them something to do. You know, like maybe it's a power up or something like that, and he hits them with a Hershey Kiss that melts and it covers the blueberries with chocolate covered blueberries. And it's like, oh, you know, we've turned you now into a sweet treat instead of a healthy food. You know, something along those lines. You know, kind of lean more into the concept you have. It's an interesting idea, and I feel like you can do a lot more with that. It's a good start, but I think, you know, lean more into the premise and evolve it some more, and I think you'll go somewhere really good. But the most immediate feedback I have for you, music and sound effects. Get those in there and you'll have much better with this. Okay, so now we're into the top 5. Slippery Sammys. Okay, music, like it. Okay, let's see here. Snake-inspired game with a few twists. Let's turn the volume down just a little bit. Okay, so mold can spread and affect all your ingredients. Okay, so let's see here. Let's play. What? Oh, okay. I gotta give it the direction. Okay. Okay. What am I doing? Am I We got food. Oh, wait, we have an order up here. What's this? We need to collect bread. Oh, hey, we need to collect this thingy. Okay, we got that. Okay, oh, it must be we have to collect these in order. Okay. Bread. There's no bread out here. Oh, there's a piece of bread. Let's go find it. Okay, I like the sound effects, the different sound effects when things pop in. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we got bread. We need, I'm going to guess that's mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. Let's go get some cheese. Okay. We need a tomato. Oh, there's a tomato. Okay. And after the tomato, we need a piece of bread. Oh, there's a piece of bread right there. Okay. Oop. Bread. Oh, green. Okay. What do we need? Okay, we need bread. We need ketchup. Can we turn back on ourselves? No. Okay. Ketchup. Need a tomato. Need another piece of bread. Okay. The music is oddly fitting for this game. Oh, and we've sped up too. Okay. Sped up. We need this. We need some of that roll-up stuff. If we go here, we can do this, this. Okay. There's a piece of bread. Mayonnaise. There we go. And then we need mustard. What is going on there? What just happened with the screen? Oh, the game board just got bigger. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. May have gotten bigger, but where's my bread? There it is. I feel like the bread doesn't spawn often enough with all these other ingredients. Bread, mustard. Okay, we're still speeding up here. We need mustard, cheese. I think that one's cheese. It looks a little funky. Oh, okay. That must have been moldy. Okay, so that appeared right in front of me, and now it goes all the way back down to 1. Okay. Interesting. Is this how many lives I have? Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to just back out of this so then we don't have the overriding music. I did like that. That was pretty cool. It was an interesting take on the Snake game where you actually had to get the ingredients in the right order and then put them into the green spot in the middle. I was a little confused about what the green spot was. You know, it was just kind of like the goal, the starting point. I did like the ramp up. The speed suddenly changed. That felt a little... felt like that should have ramped up more and not just been like a sudden switch. The zoom out and expanding the board, that was very unexpected and very cool. I liked that. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, we got music, we had sound effects, we had a pretty darn good game right there. My only real complaint about it is the movement, and I understand how it works because of the way you do the control, but the plodding is the only way I can describe it. The plodding, tile. When you get a little bit faster, it felt better. The initial stuff, especially with trying to figure out how the controls worked, felt very off-putting, and trying to be able to input the command before they get to the squares to make sure they turn. It feels weird because in a Snake game is you're trying to get that timing exactly right. Like as it gets to the square, you're not trying to feed the input before it gets to the square, if you know what I mean. It's just a minuscule amount of difference, but I think that is my only real big I don't even want to say complaint, but that's my biggest issue with playing that was that tit 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 and trying to feed the inputs in between those clicks of each square. I think was the most off-putting for me. If it was more wide open Snake game and less actual like checkerboard that you were trying to navigate, I think that would be a lot more fun, and then it just zooms out and gives you a bigger play area. But you know how Snake was a lot more granular. But I think that was a pretty cool game overall. I do think I like that. Okay. We got just a couple more here. Sushi Gazuse. I am horrible at other languages, so. Let's see here. In this game, teacher will do action while you're not actually seeing what actions are, so you need to listen with attention. Despite that, you also have visual clues if you see the buttons at the bottom of the screen. You need to memorize all the action the teacher does. You only have 3 opportunities to fail. Okay, that's a weird way to phrase it, but if you're not in endless mode, you will receive a score at the end of the session, and there's the source code. Okay, and then we have some sounds and stuff. Okay, so it's like Simon. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so sorry, it's full screen. It's off the side. We got settings. I don't understand. Video. We got settings, but they don't do anything. So I guess they didn't finish doing that. Help. There is no help. Okay. So I guess we'll just play. 5 orders. So we did chop, slice, chop. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go back to regular mode just so you guys can see it was... So this, 1, 2, 3, this. So water, nope, got that wrong. I'm horrible at memory stuff. F. Okay. Okay. So immediately my feedback, especially with someone here who's bad at memorization games. So if I go back in here, these add colors to these. You know, make the water blue, make the salt white, make the, you know, chopping this, make that green, make this, I don't know, like red or something like that. Give some colors so that it makes it a little bit another way that someone can memorize the mnemonic of what they need to do. So salt, knife, chop, salt, knife, chop. Water, chop, salt, salt. Oh, I've already forgot it. Yep. We get some overlap here, some formatting stuff, but I think overall it is, accessibility stuff. Just give those buttons some color to make it so that people can, find a better way that associates with them. The different sounds is great. So then you can, salt shaker having the salt sound, the water having the water sound. That's great. Just give it one more layer, give it colors also, to try to, some people are going to be able to associate colors better. If you play Simon, red, yellow, yellow, red, blue, green. You can do that. With these all being the same color, you can memorize order. 1, 3, 4, whatever, or you can memorize red, green, blue. You can memorize the sound, the salt. Just give them that one extra way that they might be able to memorize that. So that's my big feedback on that. The sound is good. The art was amazing. Maybe some music might help. Probably not, because it might be a little distracting, but maybe something very mellow and almost fades into the background, but just something, maybe even atmosphere. Like if it's a restaurant, maybe some like low noises, like the din of a semi-busy restaurant type thing. Just muffled noises in the background of people talking, something along those lines. So, okay, microwave roulette. That image almost looked like a South Park reference. So let's see what this is. Someone left a microwave on the kitchen counter, and you're going to put things in it that probably shouldn't. Eggs, forks, batteries, a smaller microwave. If it fits, it cooks. Okay, this is already sounding like me at 7. Let's see. A crowd shows up to watch. Keep them entertained, or they wander off. Every round chips away at the microwave until it finally gives up on life in spectacular fashion. Higher power means bigger scores and shorter appliance lifespan. That's the whole game. Good luck. Okay. So let's see here. Let's see if we can figure out... is the goal to break the microwave, or just to get the most number of people watching, or... let's hit tutorial. Let's see. Pick an object from the tray, set the power level, hit start, and watch the chaos. Score points from the crowd's reaction. Low slows reactions, less damage, 0.5 score. Medium is normal speed, balanced, 1x score. Let's see what else we got. Fast and violent, heavy damage, double the score. High power is more spectacle, but it does more damage. Okay. 100 hit points is a starting health. Each round deals damage based on object and power level. A bigger crowd heals after each round. I'm going to assume it means heals the microwave. And game over when it hits 0. Okay, so that's the microwave. Okay. So let's give it a go. Oh, nice already. Pizza. Damage 2, points 20. Damage 3, points 25. Butter. Well, let's put the hot dog in there. Let's put it on high. Okay. Let's... that was damage 3. Damage 3. Damage 2. Damage 3. So if these are going to be the same, let's put this in. Put that on high. Yep, okay. 2, 2, 6, and 55. Oh, let's do this on high. This should be fun. Oh. Look at that mess the soap did. Okay, here's our microwave hit points. Choose a plate. Grape halves. Oh, yeah. Okay, what else we got here? What else we got? 8. Let's do the low one. Okay. Oh, we gotta do a fork. Let's put that in. We're gonna make this go. Please tell me that they have a... Ooh, here we go. Aluminum foil ball. Yeah, no. Let's do high. Let's go all out on this one. Oh, come on. That should have been melted. Batteries. Batteries. We'll go medium. Oh, we lost some crowd members. We're not appealing to them. Fork, yeah. Okay, I enjoyed that. That was a fun concept. I like the screaming. I like the sound effects. Honestly, it didn't really need music because I didn't notice it. It was with a crowd in the background with their commentary and their reactions. That was a lot of fun. Um, yeah, it's again. There's not really a win in that one. That one's more just frog in a blender. You know, if you ever remember that Flash game of just doing something as long as you can before you destroy it. Um, so I don't really have a whole lot of notes on that one. I love the visual presentation of it. I think the people are a little bit goofy. I don't quite understand this dude right here. Um, but overall, I think that was a lot of fun. I don't really see why you would not go for high every time. Basically, I mean there's no real. It'll extend it. You can grow your crowd and stuff like that. I don't know what the upper limit is, but unless there was some clear, you've reached the next level of YouTube, like a silver or gold or platinum play button type thing. If you had like some rewards or rankings or achievements or something like that, some goals for them to reach on certain viewership levels, then I could understand maybe, again, that mid loop and trying to make the micro loop a lot more engaging and a lot more thought provoking to try to get to the mid loop goal. So, but cool. That was a lot of fun. Like I said, it reminds me of when I was a kid microwaving CDs and watching the sheet of electricity just go everywhere. It was so much fun. Okay, we got two left. Fruitbot. You're a cute robot responsible for sorting fruit into 3 different boxes: watermelon, banana, and avocado. Sounds like, is it a hot dog? You have to catch the fruit and put it in the correct box. Every fruit that falls to the ground costs 1 life. The game is over when all lives are lost. You can collect more fruits and order them to put a higher amount of fruits at the same time. Find your best strategy to increase your score. Left, right, move, up, reorder fruits, down, put fruit in the box. Okay? The first off description here is a little confusing, but let's see what happens. This looks like it might be like a Pico 8 or something. Yep, Pico 8. Okay. Okay. How do I... So this says I want to catch a watermelon. Wait, I'm confused. Watermelon. This watermelon. Nope. I want watermelon. Oh, reorder as in restack. Okay. I gotcha. Okay. So that means I can sort them when I have a whole bunch of them stacked up. Okay. Let's try that again. Continue. Okay. Let's try this again. Now that I understand a little bit more. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. So I try to catch a couple of them. Reorder. Okay. Okay. I think I get the gist of what I'm doing here. Okay, so that was pretty cool. I like that mechanic. I like being able to reorder the fruits. It was very intense trying to keep track of up and down, up to reorder the fruits, down to deliver them. that was it has a very clear skill evolution. So there's skill progression and difficulty. So as it becomes faster, you got to be better at managing all four directions, down to deliver, up to reorder. That was really cool. I like that. I think that was a very good use. There's clearly the difficulty progression, faster fruits. Very clear visual indicators. This is, you miss a fruit, it hits the conveyor belt, you lose a life. That was entertaining. I think the volume for the music was a little bit loud. I think that could be scaled back. It was very repetitive. It's kind of a Pico 8 thing. You have a very limited capabilities what you can do with that. I think if you just scale the volume back just a little bit, and then as you reach new levels, I mean, you had them come up on the screen, just change the intensity slightly of the music, and I think you have a pretty good, fun, quick little like arcade type game right there. So, okay, and the last game of the night of these 26-ish entries, let's play The Last Slice. And this is the one that won the Game Jam, so let's take a look at it. Let's make it full screen, and it's not really full screen, but okay. One slice left. You're the last slice of the party. Don't get grabbed. Okay. Click to start. Oop, bonk. Okay. Okay, so do the hands just come in with no... Is there no visual indicator of where they're coming from? This is just like hungry hippos here. And the pizza moves so fast. Because, like, I just barely tap it. It can go, like, halfway across the screen. Okay. Okay, can we get to 10 seconds? Nope. Nope. It's just so hard because the hands are so big. Or not so big, but the movements of the pizza are so big. Okay. So, a couple things about this one. I really feel like there needs to be a hand coming in and then grabbing. Just some quick indicator. It doesn't need to be pause, like the build up of like a platformer or something like that, where the boss is telegraphing his attack. Here's the wind up. I'm flashing red. I'm about to hit you. We don't need it to be quite that extreme, but right now it's boom. There is no warning, and especially with how fiddly that pizza is and moving around in the circle, it's really hard to anticipate, and it feels like a lot of times it's like there was nothing I could do. I had no warning. There was no skill level. This is just sheer dumb luck. Like, I'd probably be just as effective not moving the pizza the entire game. You know what? Let's try that. Let's see what happens. I'm already getting a higher score by not moving the pizza. And we hit 10 seconds. Yeah. It's a... we want to try to get some skill in there, not just sheer dumb luck. I think the sound effects are great. It looks good. It's fun to play. The biggest part about the micro loop here that's really, really good is how fast you get right back into the game. You failed, hit the button, we're right back in the game. There's like no delay. We're not refreshing the screen, anything. We're right back into it. This is I can do better. I can do better. This is one of the games where your reset is so fast. It allows the player to keep going. They keep engaging in that loop over and over and over again because it's just so fast and easy and quick to reset. And, we're not jumping back to the beginning of a platformer stage or anything like that. We're just, bang, we're here. We're the pizza again. Let's dodge the hand. I got grabbed. Dodge the hand. I got grabbed. And you just keep going. It's just such a fast loop. And that reset is crucial. Because if that reset was like 1 second long, you're going to have people just, okay, I'm done. I'm out. This takes too long. But just with how fast you have that reset, a 1 second reset, I already have like three possible times I can play that game. So I think that is the biggest benefit in this type of game is being able to quickly reset your game loop. So I can definitely see, why this one got so highly voted. I don't really have a whole lot to add beyond that. It's just add some anticipation. Just something real quick. Maybe at lower levels it's a little bit more of a delay, or the hand reaches in slower, and then as you get faster, it goes faster and faster. Or as you get higher up, I don't know because I'm not good enough to get past the whatever it was 13 seconds. More hands come in. It's really hard though with how precise that pizza is. If this was, I don't think you can do that here, but if you map this to the mouse controller and you could use the mouse to like swing the pizza around, and you give that little precision movement because you can just tap the mouse and move it just far enough, I think that would also make a possible difference here in the feel of the game. Because right now when I tap my keyboard and it goes, an eighth to a quarter of the plate to spin, I think that's a little bit too fiddly for, especially with how fast those hands come in. So I think that's the only real feedback I have on this one. So I think it was a pretty good job. I don't know if I have a clear winner. I did really enjoy Microwave Roulette just because that reminded me so much of when I was a kid. And Slippery Sammy's I thought was pretty good as well. So. But oops, hold on here. Helps if I hit the right thing. But with that, we played all 26 entries. Gave some feedback. I know the last time I did this, I spent about 20 minutes with each game. There's a lot more this time. I'm still recovering, in case you can't tell from my voice. I'm still recovering from being sick. But, 2.5 hours to get through 25 games. I think that's a pretty good clip, pretty good speed. So hopefully, you enjoyed it. Hopefully I didn't demoralize you guys for, the feedback I gave you for your games. I just want to build them up. I want to, help make your games better, help them appeal. You just give some feedback, because I know a lot of times, people will play a game, you get one sentence maybe in your submission feedback or your comment page on itch.io. So it's one of those things now where you can see me playing your game, give you some active feedback. Highly suggest, if you haven't done so yet, join the GDI Insiders Discord server, and in there they have some submission stuff. Other people will play your game, give you some feedback on your builds. They've been doing these about every month, and sometimes an impromptu one will come up too as well. And look forward to that. They're always a fun time. I'm trying to hopefully do one of these live streams and feedback. I don't want to do them before the voting ends because I don't want to influence the voting, but I do want to give developers feedback. We want to try to build that community and make things better. So again, if you get a chance, jump in there, join that Discord server. There's definitely links from the jam itself. And till next time, the big takeaway from this is don't undersell your game. Don't just say this is bad, don't play it. Don't undersell, upsell it. Just say, I have future plans, I have more ambitions for this game. Give this a try. I see better things for it in the future, and I'm going to add those. That gets people more invested. Don't undersell yourself. Don't cut yourself off with needs. But till next time, have a good time, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next Game Jam entries. Peace.